This is purely imitative character piece and idiophone. And here, of course, the performance depends only on the performer's sense of humor. The sense of humor of Modest Petrovich is not questioned here, because so far he has once again proved his thinking to be ahead of the accepted ideas and possibilities of the time. And once again, it's timeless. And what is timeless? The eternal role of the hen, yes. Through his amazing work, he goes to the very roots of the proverbial question about the order of chicken and egg, and his art is extraordinary because it comes primarily from the earth's core. And here, in spite of the fact that the dance in the Hartmann picture was just the sketches of the ballet that had never been performed, where there should have been a comic sketch, the Ballet of Unhatched Chicks, incorporated strange figures, half in the egg and half on the chicken legs. But Modest Petrovich gives here, though musical technique, through his musical technique, is a great picture of a global chicken picture of our world. It's much deeper than one can imagine. That's what we call metaphysics. Here we have the interpreter's touch, already connected with the image of the pecking bird. Even through touch, he is sketching the figure. The physiology, and even the feelings of the pecking bird. Let's go quickly through this, step by step, without stopping. Because everything here is very simple, swift, everything is too visible and does not require any deep analytical philosophical depths. Just an exceptional sense of humor. And here we see the artist in full command of his instrument, because here we derive nothing but the pure feeling of great satisfaction and internal happiness, both the performer and the audience. And of course, there is a great possibility for having physiological joy. It's absolutely no need to be embarrassed by smiles from the interpreters or the public, because it's really very funny. So, mechanical movements are spontaneous, but with a certain mechanical rhythm typical of the very movement of the large numbers of birds. Onomatopoeia and idiophone, the use of sound to imitate nature, it's an unbelievable, extraordinary imitation. Immediately what is heard is not tweet, it's cackling. After all, it's very, to such an extent, recall we talked about how it was quite natural for him to describe the nationality of toddlers, barely standing up on their feet. It's the same here. In a certain way, he immediately portrays to us the chicken with his artistic, amazing flair, particularly the domesticated chicks, no other. Running on chicken legs, with cackling. Moreover, in addition, there are still young chicks, because the register he chooses portray in general chicks, but they're adolescent chickens. I, as a person who grew up in the nature, know all these gradations, how chickens of all ages behave, how old the hens are. That's here Modest Petrovich portraying us young chicken. Not newborns, but older ones running. Adolescent young chicken. Here again, very funny. The right hand depicts pecks and cackling. And the lower voice portraying, of course, chicken feet as they run. You cannot draw it better than that. As running through on chicken legs, that's right. It's so funny that it's even difficult to play for me. Here's, of course, the cook's voice. kikiriki, all these chicken runs, and with the crowing of the rooster, a real rooster. A real rooster crowing is a very characteristic grace note, also part of the cock's crowing sound. Further, the middle part, an amazing exaggeration when the lower voice there is simply no better way to depict a pecking hen. Listen to what the lower voice is doing. Low voice. The low voice in the slow chicken movement has already become vicious because the chickens are busily eating food. And the middle voice, short as jerky, should be played well defined and separate, taking care that the pace not get carried away through the use of the exaggerated tempo and by interpreters, namely because the character is what is important, independent of tempo, independent of the voices, although a deep imagination and master of imagery is present in this wonderful humorous picture. So we have dumb hands here, mechanical pecks, as chicken are mechanically and reflexively pecking food. There's incredible artwork of the image, and here finally at the top we hear the real unhatched chicken. That is, not even clucking, but less than a squeak, namely what sounded a big punching through a shell with a squeak. As a wonderful artist, he does not make the part a solo, which would be rather poor. Instead, he places in the middle voices, as assigns to the lower voice, the mechanical work of chickens pecking at their food. And the effect is absolutely incredible. And we, of course, should perform this with a great humor, as much as possible, because there's simply no limit to the humorous expression of the sounds of the picture. Everybody should burst of laughing, listening and playing this. The next stage, when chicken appear to wobble on unstable legs, plaintively squeaking, the lower voice behaves in general quite funny. The melody of the lower voice is definitely off the street. The melody is of the hooligan, is that this already connects this music with some jailhouse songs. And of course, this could only come from a man who heard and knew well the street and could provide an authentic melodic medium. Listen to this, and you, of course, will hear what I'm talking about. That is, we hear some kind of poignant song. It's difficult enough to show everything so deeply, separately, and at the same time both separately and together, and in harmony. This is quite a large artistic and technical task. Again, we are faced with the fact that the greatest difficulties arise precisely at the point when we need to create an artistic image. And we are instead of faced with the call of virtuoso whirlwind, which is the easiest things to do. This is, I repeat, this is the easiest to create virtuoso whirlwinds, which is so appreciated, unfortunately, by the superficial audiences, superficial public. It is very easy. There is nothing easier but to create an artistic image where everything is so subtle that it touches literally everything, the whole work of all life. So, completely of hooligans, convicts, yet at the same time gently feminine and delicate fragile picture of weak and helpless chicks. Then return back to the The rooster again. We're moving away from the chicken coop. And are closing the picture. Completely finished cinematic image. Surreal, unreal, abstract, metaphysical. What was required in this unrealistic name? The unrealistic solution of surrealistic picture. The ballet of unhatched chicks. The ballet of unhatched chicks. In their shells. This is a pure surrealism. And thus, in the music of Mussorgsky, he embodies not just the full incarnation, but also a font of fantastic beauty and demonstrate the limitless abilities of the composer, a satirist, humorist, surrealist, realist, abstractionist, impressionist, great national genius. Many thanks.